Hey guys, Lazy here. And remember, the best things happen in the dark. Holy crap, I do not sound anything like him. I just played that back. That is so far from him. Oh my god. By the way, if you've never heard of him, Lazy Masquerade, great channel on YouTube. He does like horror story and creepypasta narrations, that kind of stuff. A little bit more classy and better written content than, just creepypastas. Now, if you remember the one story that I tried to actually narrate, the really crappy, we'll say, horror story parody that I made for this channel about the cult of the MTG goldfish. I totally just ruined the ending. It was terrible. I did a terrible job of it. Apparently, fiction narration is actually really hard. Who would have thought? Thus, the format for this. But yeah, check out Lazy Masquerade. He's cool. I'm not saying that because, we've ever talked or he supports me on Patreon or any of that. He doesn't. Probably should. Hopefully he will now. But he's just the best horror narrator on all of YouTube. He's awesome. So link may be in the description if I remember. I think we all know I won't. But guess what? Chapter 2 of the Hour of Devastation story is out and has been for a while. I've just been lazy and putting it off. See, too bad he took the name Lazy already because fits me pretty damn good. As if you didn't just watch Chapter 1, I might as well summarize it anyway. Everybody's all like, ooh, the God Pharaoh's coming back. I'm so excited. Woo. So then the doors started swinging open because the sun lined up into the Horn Monument or whatever. They all went to the Luxa casino and free breakfast bar or whatever the hell it is. And, the Luxa River Shrine or whatever. And the doors started creaking open and then just a demon flew out and turned the river to blood and killed everything in it. So, take that, you brainwashed morons. One blatantly, clearly false religion down, Scientology and Mormonism to go. I'm sure that didn't offend anybody. Anyway, I guess we're going to see a pretty big old fight between Razaketh and Liliana and her crew. And I would, of course, phrase it that way because Liliana kind of came to this plane under false pretenses. I mean, I'm sure she would have tried to fight Nicobolus, maybe, because it kind of convinced her to go along. But really, she was just like, well, I got to kill Razaketh because I killed 2 out of the, I think, 4 demons that have a claim on her soul or whatever. So, yeah, why not? While everybody's going there anyway, let's, basically force them to fight him. But I don't think they should be that mad because obviously he had something to do with Nicobolus to begin with. I mean, he's on the plane, he's obviously serving him or something, so it's kind of the same thing anyway. Anyway, let's see how this goes. So, the prologue, I guess, says, and so the hour of revelation broke upon the land. And the promised time arrived when all questions would be answered. Ha ha! Too bad it's not an answer you want to hear, douchebags. And lo, the gate to the afterlife opened, and from beyond its gleaming walls, the true visage of the coming tide poured forth. Yeah, actually, so it swung open, and they're like, it's just desert behind it. It was supposed to be, rivers and rainforesty crap. All I see are sandworms and crocodiles. What the hell? That was basically what everybody was thinking. Now, the last episode quite literally ended with Razaketh saying, hey, Liliana, I know you're on the plane. What's up? Let's do this. So Liliana, it says she moved her foot back from the lapping crimson of the Luxa River, which was, by the way, turned to blood because, why not? Why not copy the Bible? They literally said they would not, word for word, and then they did. Get ready for plagues of frogs and locusts. And then Liliana thought to herself, I'm too old for this crap. Okay, she said, I'm too old for this nonsense, but come on, it's Liliana, come on. So she's not nervous or excited or any of that. She just wants to get things going. Because apparently the first 2 demons that she had fought had been really easy to defeat, surprisingly so. But she blames it on her, basically the speed of her attacks. And now she's got an entire team of planeswalkers to help back her up. So yeah, she's not exactly scared. So she gets on the mental Jace phone, calls up Jace, and she's like, what's up? And he's like, I don't know, this big crowd of people. And she's like, yeah, I know. Where you at, bro? And she's like, man, we pulling up, we rolling up, let's do it. And he's like, let's pull up then. So this is actually really funny. I had to read this twice to get exactly what was going on, but this is hilarious. So she suspects that Razaketh is trying to flush her out by taunting her and getting her to fight one-on-one before they can, get together and make a plan or whatever. Planning, by the way, not really the Gatewatch's strong point up until now, or teamwork, or intelligence, or logic, or anything. Let's see, Wizards of the Coast wrote this story, and let's see, lesbians, check, logic, no. You know how, people consider the works of arts to be like their children, and usually your children turn out just like you? This has got to be the most offensive video on my entire channel to people who don't have a sense of humor. Anyway, apparently the demon used some kind of mental magic to make her hand move involuntarily, and it, like, her right hand held itself up to her face and waved at her, which is freaking hilarious. Liliana's just like, it's a scare tactic. This is a load of crap. He doesn't know where I am. Well, except that he literally says, there you are, and, like, basically points at her or whatever. But then out of the corner of her eye, it says that she spots a purple Lincoln Town car with leopard accents. And it's the rest of the Gatewatch. Hey, they arrive and they pulling up. They rolling up on them. I honestly don't remember which two of those is the accurate saying, so I'm just going to keep switching back and forth. Have I mentioned, FYI, this may not be the most accurate version of the story. So Liliana's like, hey guys, I don't really know the extent of his abilities, but he's powerful. We should... ... and then stops speaking because apparently he just says, come to me, and then her little tattoos that are all over her body or whatever, they start glowing because, of course. I mean, it's not even a visual movie, and it's they got to put in like a visual signal to tell stupid people what's going on. Oh, look, her tattoos are glowing. Must be the demon. I mean, come on. Oh, it's just bad writing. Anyway, apparently she was like, oh crap, this ain't good, and then completely out of control just walks into the river of blood. Probably not a good idea. Now this isn't your average magical blood, it's just traditional blood, but they made it very clear that fish can't swim in it or breathe in it, so they all died. Crocodiles were like rolling around like, oh my god, I gotta get this crap off me because they can't swim in it very well. So yeah, it's just blood, you know, you can't really swim through it, it's a little thick. I know from personal experience, I've swam through blood all the time. So it says, you know, Liliana's been through some crap because, you know, she's actually pretty damn old. I mean, she gives, like, Soren a run for his money on age. But nothing pissed her off more than a complete loss of control, so the mind games from the demon are really starting to piss her off. Oh, it is aggravating being out of control, especially when you get all freaked out on pork rinds and melatonin, get up in the middle of the night and get in a fight with your dresser. Oh, and then go to bed on the floor and then wake up like, what the hell's my hand hurt? I'm like, oh crap, that's right, I got in a fight with my dresser, what the hell? I love that story, that's my favorite story. The moral of the story, kids, stay away from the hard stuff. Pork rinds. It seems like, according to the internet, the jury's still out about whether or not there are hallucinogenic sleep-altering compounds in pork rinds, but I don't usually get into fights with my furniture at 3 in the morning. I'm going to go ahead and check that one off as confirmed. So Chandra and Nissa try to pull Liliana back because they're like, yeah, don't go swimming, not a good time. But, yeah, the demon makes her blast a bunch of necromantic energy, and they pull back their hands so that they don't get all zombified. So I'm not saying she was mad at this point, but it does say that she wanted to tear the demon's eyes out and swallow them whole, which is how I feel about lantern control. Ready for Raven Man Ex Machina? Oh, did I just spoil it? So she keeps telling herself, I'm stronger than him, whatever, I'm gonna break this hold, but she is having no success. She tried mentally swearing at him, trying to focus on breaking the hold, listening to Jace's voice in her head, nothing's working, but then the Raven Man, who's this dude who keeps like showing up ever since, I guess she became a planeswalker or something like that, or ever since she signed the pact with the demons, one of the two, I don't remember. He just shows up from time to time just to Ex Machina the crap out of the story. I mean, let's cut the crap, that's what it is. So he just talks in her mind because she can't really see inside Blood River there. He says, you can only survive this if you kill him. Gee, thanks for the update, Ghost of Chakotay. Yes, usually spells wear off when you kill the source. That's how Dungeons & Dragons 4.0 works. Then he says, you are only free if you kill each of your demons, Liliana. Only then will I leave you be. So, oh, that's right. Yeah, it was when she signed the pact with the demons that he just started showing up from time to time. She has no idea who he is, why he's there, why he's in her head, why she keeps hallucinating that he's there or whatever. Really has nothing to do with any of the pact that she signed, whatever. So just when she was like, oh crap, I really need to breathe, she actually had crossed the river because she kept walking forward and was on the opposite bank. Because he said, come to me. What an idiot. He should have left her in the river. I mean, this guy's a moron. Don't you hate it in Dungeons & Dragons when you come across some guy with an intelligence score of like 6, but then he has like mental abilities? It doesn't seem to match up. Although perhaps that would be wisdom, but I mean, come on. So she's like, oh man, I've never fought anybody like this. How am I supposed to fight him if I can't move or do anything? What kind of tactic am I going to use? I've got an idea. Bet he can't control 5 planeswalkers at once. I mean, that's literally how you beat Yuri in Command & Conquer Red Alert 2, Yuri's Revenge. Those little mind control things, the giant brain on the little go-kart thing or whatever, drives around and you just overload it by having it control more than 3. Still totally unfair. Nobody likes competitive Yuri's Revenge online. If you play as Yuri, he's banned from competitive play, basically. But still, that's how you beat him. So Razaketh, steps up and he's like, hey, nice to see you again. We made a deal in the past. Yay. Here, have some exposition. And then he says, a dear friend left an assignment for me to fulfill. Kind of weird. Kind of wonder if it's like Nicobolus or what. I don't know. Kind of seems to be implied because he says, you were very fortunate to arrive when you did. You get to see the show. I'm excited to see it myself. It's a surprise for me too. So finally, even though she literally walked 50 feet and said the planeswalker or the Gatewatch, whatever, was right behind her or whatever. They said out of the corner of her eye she could see them or whatever. So yeah, run. So finally Jace's voice in her head says, Liliana, we see you. We're coming. And she's probably hurry up. Yeah, hi. So then he says, I apologize for the forcefulness, Liliana, but I love a dog who comes when she is called. And you're a good dog, aren't you? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? He didn't actually say that, though. Oh my god, no joke, though. He makes her bark. Holy crap. Oh, this might explain why she didn't think he was that powerful, very much underestimated him, except not really. Because he said you really ought to read contracts before you sign them, People hide all sorts of nasty clauses into them. The other co-authors were so straightforward, but I like a little flair in my dealings. So clearly, glowing tattoos, absolute mental domination, you gotta go to the contract for that. I mean, that's Nicol Bolas level mental powers. Obviously, he doesn't have that, but he must have written it into the contract, which clearly she didn't read. She's probably getting overcharged on her cell phone bill, too. Well, especially with all those telepathic calls to Jace, that's gotta be some kind of long distance or something. So he asks her, hey, why did you come to this wonderful, lovely plane? Did you come to see a show? Did you primarily come for the casinos? Or did you just get really good discounted airfare and you have mandatory time off from your work? So then he gave her back control of just her mouth, and of course she said, you have 5 more minutes to live, you will watch me as I kill you. Oh, I would have been even less polite than that. So then he says, 5 minutes, how precise. And of course Liliana says, I'm a very punctual person. And then he says, I doubt that. I kind of doubt that too, it doesn't really seem like her personality. But then she reminds him that she killed Kothaped and Grizzlebrand, and that it was easy, to which Razaketh scoffs, they were idiots. Have to agree from what I know from the lore. So then, of course, he's like, hey, I won't kill you, but I could maim you. I could have you do it yourself, the whole stop hitting yourself kind of thing. And then Liliana just replies, 4 minutes, to which I say, no, that exchange probably took about 15 seconds. So then, of course, since Jace is the comic relief character who never helps at anything ever, he's basically Jar Jar Binks. He says in her mind, don't move, and then Liliana kind of replies, is that a joke? And then he says, maybe. Get it? Because she can't move. Good one, Jace. Blow the demon's mind apart. So then she hears a voice in her head that says, no, Chandra, don't rush ahead. Chandra, red wins, haste, boost, So then she tells him, well, 4 minutes is a bit long, isn't it? How about now? And from somewhere behind Razaketh's head, a jet of fire engulfed the demon, and he screamed. Doesn't she know demons in pretty much every video game are at least partially immune, if not completely immune to fire? Not a good idea. Uh-oh, Liliana regained control of her body. Oh, she mad, bro. She mad. So she's going all out, two-handed frickin' Super Saiyan level fire. Basically the big ol' full blast on him. They said his tail was whipping wildly as he tried to fight his way through the fire. Apparently she doesn't have very fast aim adjustment because it says he just unfurled his wings, launched into the air, and then had time to turn around and barrel at her at full speed, rammed her in her side, and knocking her into the side of the necropolis with a bruising thud. How do you know? Bruises don't show up till later. What stupid writing? So then Razaketh is like, I don't think so. He literally actually says that. I'm not even adding that. And he made Liliana somehow magically dislocate her own shoulder, which I don't think you could just do with muscle control. That seems a little far-fetched. So then it says a sudden whip of sand, rock, and reeds barreled into the side of the concentrating demon. A massive elemental emerged, its body forming from the banks of the river. As it rose, rivulets of well water, untouched by the blood spell, cascaded from it. A water and sand elemental. I honestly don't know who that is. I vote Nissa. Kind of seems like her thing. She's into like blue mana now for some reason. I think the last story chapter said she's getting way into like Beck's 3rd and 4th album. So like, yeah, she's getting weird. So Liliana's back in control again, fixes her shoulder real quick, and yeah, she finally starts casting a spell. It's about time, princess, get it going. So guess what? He's like, I don't feel like fighting this, and he flies into the sky again. I mean, guys, he can fly. Like, is that news to you? He came flying out of the damn Luxa River Shrine, for God's sake. He can fly. Hit him with something flying. Pick up a rock and chuck it at him, whatever. God, you guys suck. The Gatewatch is so bad. So he at least takes a chunk out of the elemental, which, by the way, was Nissa's, it says. But he was only then half able to get control of Liliana, her legs specifically, but her body wasn't under control. So, yeah, he's about to get whooped. I don't think legs are really used a whole lot in spellcasting. Well, except on Avatar: The Last Airbender, then they're really important. But that's just like power yoga, man. They're doing some weird crap. I mean, seriously, they're all just like, ooh, downward facing dog. And look, you're on fire. Yeah, my friend has a yoga studio. That never happened at her place. Okay, I think she would have told me about that. Also, she moved to Florida, come to think of it. That's a shame. Her son was like really big into streaming. We could have done a collab. Oh my God, we could have titled it 2 Fat Gamers Try to Do Yoga. Damn, that would be even better than this crap video. So, I don't know. Apparently he didn't fly up into the air because now he's still fighting with his claws and trying to rip chunks off of the elemental and stuff. And he's got to focus completely on that, which, you know, obviously tactically is not a good idea. So just as he was gonna give him the old 1-2 punch to finish him off, he's on fire again. So Chandra's launching a flurry of fireballs, as they say, at the demon. So then it says Nissa retreated behind another part of the necropolis because she was clearly having trouble maintaining enough mana to keep the elemental active. For God's sake, Nissa, you're 2 colors now. I mean, come on. That's like 2/5 of all the mana. Get it together. Put some more lands in your deck. Have Jace draw you some cards. My God. So finally Razaketh gets a brain and flies up where he can very easily dodge Chandra's awesome fireballs. Oh, and he's away from the elemental, which may or may not be dead at this point. Not really clear. So it says, Jace, Liliana yelled in her mind, although apparently she didn't feel like putting double quotes around it, even though it's a internally spoken, textual command. Oh no, apparently she yelled them in her mind, but not at him, so it's like her mind's mind, but not mind enough for him to hear it. I don't know where the hell they're going with this. So Razaketh still has one hand pointed towards her, and now he just decided, let's just make her stop breathing. Breathing, of course, controlled by a 100% subconscious portion of your brain, FYI, fun little fact there. So then Razaketh lands in front of her, facing away from Liliana, and taunting Chandra, because why not? She's gonna get pissed. So she was wondering what Jace was doing besides, being useless in another battle, but he apparently somehow cloaked Gideon and made him invisible. Now, invisibility is actually a blue spell. So apparently Invisigideon runs up and grabs her and tries to drag her away. Actually, no, he just grabs her shoulder to say where he is and then uses his, the hell's that thing called? A Siral, I don't know, big old blade whip. And he puts a couple lines in Razaketh's back. Ouch. Dude, I put freaking 3 lines in my forearm trying to change my damn brake rotors, and I probably have tetanus. So I could imagine this probably hurt pretty good too. So then Gideon's voice growled in her ear, make it fast, and Liliana croaks, I intend to, as she finally catches her breath. Yeah, hurry the hell up with the spell casting, you slow freaking necromancer. Oh my God, I could prepare a 9-course meal in the time it's taken her to prepare this spell. Now, Chandra was apparently far enough away that she didn't see Liliana, and obviously didn't see Gideon, because he's Invisigideon. She launches a whole boatload of fireballs, and Gideon has to cover up Liliana and use his little golden magic shield. God, Chandra is such an idiot, seriously. So, says Razaketh's on fire again, flailing around like a magic carp, and, he gets tackled by a second elemental. Must be the next turn, because you can use that Planeswalker ability to animate a land once per turn. Just wait till she ultimates. Oh my God. I think storyline-wise, she'd have to just down a Red Bull or something. I don't really know how that works. So Liliana is, by the way, FYI, still not preparing a damn spell. She, walks up to him as his skin is blistering from Chandra's, pyromantic bombardment. And, she notices, hey, Jace must have made me invisible too, but just specifically to Razaketh. Neat. So then she mentally tells Jace, hey, I need you to interrupt his control over me. And Jace says, what do you think I've been trying to do for the last 10 minutes? I would say nothing, because he pretty much does nothing in every fight. He acts all clever, but really he just like turns invisible, runs away, or tries to make illusions and escape. It's not a bad tactic, but in a 5v1, So she says, okay, screw the invisibility spell, just focus on freeing up his control of me, which actually, from the story's logic thus far, he's on fire and completely out of control, is not currently holding a hand towards her. She should be completely not under his control at all. The problem is, it isn't really mental abilities or magic, it's the contract that's behind this, so I don't think he could just break it with blue magic. If he was smart, he would make clones of her and then hope the demon doesn't know which one's her, but I don't know. He could probably just resonate with the tattoos or whatever. I've got a better idea. Kill him. Kill the damn demon. Just kill him. Use blue magic to pin him down. It happens. I've seen it. Hello. I play a deck just like that. And then blow him straight to hell. It sounds like he's half cut up from Gideon and still technically on fire. Anyway, let's see what they do. So then he drops the invisibility. Razakat's eyes went unfocused, so he must be doing something to screw with his vision. That's actually kind of neat. Very clever. And then Jace says, got him, move fast. I believe the term is gotta go fast. Sanic D Hedgehog. And so Liliana says, forward, Gideon. I would imagine at this point she's actually riding him piggyback. Onward into battle, beef slab, or whatever Chandra always calls him. I mean, last I heard, Razakath had control of her legs, and she's like crawling along the sand like, what'd you do to my legs, Eddie Murphy? I mean, Charlie Murphy. It's been a while. I don't remember the quote. So she just walks right through the flames with Gideon, because he can wrap his little golden magic force field around two people apparently now. Dude, she is so like on his shoulders. I mean, come on. She reaches for the chain veil because, you know, that's like the Super Saiyan version of Planeswalkers. And Jace is like, you don't need that. You know, like Harriet Tubman on the 20, you don't need that. And then she's like, well, he's right. So yeah, she clips the veil back on her dress or whatever, and she's like, nah, you know, he's pretty much half dead anyway, so I'm gonna taunt him, you know, walk towards him slowly and start talking crap, instead of preparing a spell. She is the worst necromancer I've ever heard of. So then she looks down at him and says, watch me as I kill you. Okay, here's a thought. Since they all apparently suck at magic and fighting in general, they were just on Kaladesh where they're really good at making machines and stuff. Why the hell didn't they bring guns? She could have just pulled out 2 45s, one in each hand, and just started boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's Kaladesh. Maybe they don't have, you know, handhelds. Bring a cannon. I mean, roll that sucker into battle, have Chandra light the fuse, and then boom! The tally-ho, there's a hole in ya. So then she starts casting a spell that somehow involves the river and boiling and I don't know. Once again, Jace, who is clearly me in this story, says, do it now! Cast a damn spell, Liliana. I might have added that second part. So Jace is still focusing on distracting or blinding the demon dude, and Liliana sees him, or feels him kind of starting to try to take control again. But then she flicks her wrist, and ta-da, the spell's done. Maybe you should have done that a minute ago. And it says, quote, a menagerie of death spilled up and out of the river of blood. Fish, turtles, snakes, hippopotamuses, shorebirds, and drowned antelopes rose out of the crimson Luxa in a writhing mass. Ew. Their mouths gaped, their teeth flashed, and they hurled themselves out of the river and toward the charred body of the demon. Sounds like some Han Weir the Writhing Township kind of crap. Then it says, Liliana moved the mass as she would her own body. Her control resided over each fin, claw, and tooth that burst up from the thick blood of the river. She felt immense, boundless, magnified and distributed through waves of risen flesh. She wasn't sure where she ended and the hundreds of dead began. For a fleeting moment, Liliana remembered what it was like to wield godlike power. Okay, calm the hell down. It's dead fish, for God's sake. You throw a dead fish at me, I'm just gonna pull out my gun and shoot you. This spell better be going somewhere. This better be like a 2020 flesh golem or something. My God. It's like when a 5-year-old, like, they paint something with finger paint and they're like, look at this masterpiece. And then their mom's like, God, that looks like crap. But aren't you proud of yourself, honey, for making it? Yeah, you better start hitting them with this big old zombie blobfish thing. So apparently, no, this thing's pretty damn powerful and it is messing this dude up. So Chandra, Gideon, and Nissa turn away. Jace almost throws up. So then she animates some dead zombie crocodiles, which I really hope make it to a card, and they drag him into the river. Haha, getting dragged into your own river, what's up? So I gotta be careful about them field spells. So yeah, Liliana's getting way too into the spell. I'm not gonna go into detail, but yeah, she's getting creepy. Like she's getting like random weird dude in an AOL chat room in the 90s weird. So the crocodiles tore him apart into pieces so that he wouldn't somehow return as a zombie, which is what happens to everything that dies on this plane. Good planning there. So then Jace says in her mind, Liliana, that's enough. Liliana, he's dead. Please stop. Isn't that the famous meme from The Simpsons? He's already dead. So then finally she releases control of them so that they can just go about their business. And then it says, like they were reanimated by the curse of wandering, and it had finally taken hold, which I don't recall them saying anything about dead animals coming back to life, just dead humans, so that's news. Well, I mean, then again, the embalm mechanic on like some of the white cats and stuff, I don't know, whatever. So Liliana's all ecstatic, but then Razaketh's body somehow reassembles, but then out of nowhere, out of the crowd, comes a Johnny with a steel chair. Oh, right to the face. Just kidding, that didn't happen. That would be pretty awesome, though. Overall, I'd give this fight scene about a 6 out of 10. Also, where the hell is a Johnny? But, like, where the hell is, like, Garuk? Where the hell is anybody? Where did that moon lady go? I didn't even read that damn storyline. I mean, for real, she owes them for showing Nahiri how to do moon magic or whatever the hell. I think she taught her how to bait in Emrakul to the realm using delicious moon cheese. I really could stand to just read that storyline. Emrakul loves her some moon cheese. Num num num. Oh, they actually did clarify it. Jace actually did throw up. I like this story. You guys got to read this one verbatim. It's pretty damn good. If you're only going to pick one chapter, pick this one. So then she says to Jace, did you throw up? And it's very clear that he did. No, seriously, it literally says word for word that he did. So then Gideon, Nissa, and Chandra walk up, and she says, thanks for all your assistance. Oh, I bet they're mad. They basically got tricked into fighting that dude, so yeah. Chandra, at the very least, she's a little hot-headed. I expect her to slap all the black off of her. She uses black mana. It's a joke, for God's sake. So Gideon actually just crosses his arms and says, we did what had to be done. Our focus needs to be on the arrival of Bolas, which hasn't happened yet for convenience reasons because there's 8 chapters to the story, and if we have him show up right away, what the hell are we going to do with the other chapters? Just a bunch of chapters of fighting? This isn't Dragon Ball Z. He didn't actually say all that. I added a little bit to the end there. So then she says, yes, and fixes back her hair with a ribbon from her dress. You're covered in dried blood from a river. You're like, oh, but my hair's on point. Hashtag no makeup. Hashtag covered in blood. Hashtag look at my hair game. And then Jace is like, man, you taking them selfies, girl. Why would you do that? You know that's whack and I do not approve that. I had a lot of caffeine today. Can you tell? So it turns out these 2 chapters weren't an absolute filler waste of time just for, I don't know, Liliana to progress her storyline. They say something to the effect of like, the blood spell that turned all the river into blood that Razaketh cast has actually begun some kind of weird chain reaction of mana and magic and crap. So that's what was needed for Nicol Bolas's return. So he actually needed the demon to like do that to signal him back to like planeswalk back to the realm or like wake him up or whatever. I think it said that he planeswalked away to go do stuff on other planes. He basically just set sun number 2 as a giant alarm clock and then told Razaketh, hey, when it goes off, you know, instead of texting me, just turn the river to blood. I'll be watching for that somehow. Whatever. It makes sense because story. So they're still trying to work out the whole you lied to us thing. But it sounds like they're all pretty cool. Because then Liliana says, and it worked out well, didn't it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, totally nobody almost died. So then Chandra says, we don't have time to argue about what happened. We need to split up and prevent further loss of life. Really? Let me butt in for a second there, Chandra. These people are morons, first and foremost. And secondly, they don't listen to reason. So they brought this completely upon themselves. And third, they really seem to be big fans of dying, actually. Dude, if it was me, I would literally pick up the townspeople and throw them at Nicol Bolas as human missiles, like the spell Fling, which I believe they just reprinted. I mean, writes itself. So Beef Slap Gideon comes up with the brilliant plan of let's ambush him the second he arrives and catch him by surprise. That is more of a plan than they developed in the week or so that they were there when he was off participating in the Hunger Games because why not? But yeah, it sounds like everybody's still pissed at Liliana. I would be. So Gideon's part 2 of his plan is to get up high to watch for Nicol Bolas. He is the size of a damn building. I don't think you'll miss him no matter what elevation you're sitting at, bro. So the story ends with Jace saying, I think it was kind of overkill and you completely lost control. And she's like, nah, I did what needed to be done. And that's about it. So, yeah, this is a pretty good chapter. I mean, it was interesting. Big old fight. Somewhat interesting, kind of cliche, but, you know, hard to write a good fight scene with stuff you've never seen before. Like I said, I'd give it a 6 or 7 out of 10, somewhere in that neighborhood. But yeah, I hope you guys are super excited about chapter 3 through, let me just double check this again. Yeah, 8. And if anybody knows who the 4th demon is, leave it down below. I, for some reason, cannot think of it. I knew about Kothapet, I knew about Grizzlebrand. Never heard of this dude that just died. Totally forgot his name. Oh yeah, Razakath or something like that. It sounds like an anxiety medicine. I can't remember that damn name. I don't think he'll even be on Ixalan. In fact, I don't think Liliana will be on Ixalan, so it might be a while till we resolve that one. But there's one thing I do know. $10 says she's going to put that chain veil on in the fight versus Nicobolas. Actually, maybe she'll then have the power to resurrect the Planeswalkers and not as zombies, just like legit resurrect them. Because, you know, obviously they're going to die in the fight with Nicobolas. Maybe. I mean, the cards, they're kind of, I don't know, maybe misleading. Should be interesting, though. It's always fun to read these stories from the second set in the block because it, you know, starts wrapping stuff up. So definitely hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss the next 6 versions of these over the next couple weeks. And I will see you guys next video.
Taking them selfies, girl, why would you do that? You know it's whack and I do not approve that.